The church first came into being in 1807 in Morristown Corners, and it was a group of 13 people.
And a group of men who were farmers and lived in Morristown Corners had kind of formed this society. And Jacob Walker was one of them, and it was his land that the first church was built on.
So they wanted to develop the first congregational church in the area, so they incorporated. They built this huge church.
It was supposed to house 1,000 people, so it was like the biggest church in Vermont at that point in time.
In Morristown Corners, big enough for like 1,000 people, but they built it on poor ground, so it was structurally unsound, and they had to tear it down. And that's when they built this church here in the village.
And it was built out of brick, but they built it on clay. And so within 10 years, the foundation started collapsing and the building was considered unsafe. So that's when they came into what they called the Morrisville proper, or the school proper, which is the present site of our church now. And they built another church.
Around the 1820s or 30s, they moved from Morristown Corners to the center of town with the tower. It was just a small building, and back in 1865, what they did with that is they moved that building back from the street, turned it, and then they built the building that's there now, like, onto it.
In 1885, they built that way, which is our sanctuary, and they put in the first pipe organ in this town. And that was actually at a cost of $1,425. So that's how old that organ is. That's the original organ. In 1957, we completely redid the sanctuary. The choir loft was changed, the backdrop for the organ was changed, it was all repainted, the ceilings were redone. So all of those kinds of things happened during the late 50s, 1950s. Many years, we served as a meeting place for organizations. Now we have the teen center here.
It provides a space for youth to come who have no place else to go. It provides a worship space for people to come who feel like they need to feel a sense of belonging and that God loves them. It provides help to the homeless by way, and people who are in need by way of providing food cards and gas cards and coats and rent money. Vermont is the least churched state in the country. Less people come to church in Vermont than any other state in the country.
Yeah, it's like the hassle of just going to church and being part of an organization.
Sports are big, and sports events happen on Sunday, so people don't come to church because of that. Also, people need to work. There's a lot of two-career families in Vermont, and people are tired, and I think they want to rest on Sunday.
You don't have to be 100% totally religious. It's just it's a good place to go if you need help. That's why a lot of homeless people that need help, they go there because they know they can get stuff and we help them out. It's like, you don't have to be religious to go there, but I think people are just scared away from it because...
Like, I think it's going to be overly religious?
Because some people do think it's probably going to be overly religious, like, oh, that's not for me, I don't want to do that. Or they think there's, like, no point to it. Church is just a place that makes you feel good to go to. It makes you feel like a better person. That's all I can really say. That's what I can sum it up to.